and we're live. So we're just waiting for people to start showing up for us and for them to see, because it's like 10-15 second delay. And also because I'm on Wi-Fi, it's like an extra delay.
Yep.
So
I know that because I noticed that the last time we did it, it was, I'd look over here and it's like, oh, wow, that's weird.
Yep. And they're starting to show up.
The computer.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Lady Night, Maria. You remember Maria?
Hi, everybody.
I'm feeling a lot better. They put me on some medication, my first time on any kind of medication for gout. And I mean, it's almost completely cleared up. I'm so grateful. And I've been drinking shit ton of water. So can you see the chat, sis?
Yep, I sure can.
All right, perfect. And let me, all right, I had to mute it on the other side because I have it on, you know, another window. So we'll give it a minute, let people show up. How's everyone doing this evening? I mean, I know it's 3 o'clock for me, but it's what, 9 o'clock for you, Maria? And I'm not sure how late it is for you, Johnny. It says it's 3 for you too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You gotta love that.
Me too.
You got something going on in the corner of your bedroom. Is that, you're in your bedroom, right?
Yeah. What do you mean?
I see something up in the corner.
Like what?
No, I'm being dead serious, sis. There's something going on up in the corner of your bedroom behind you. You got a light flickering or something?
Oh, you're seeing the shadow of the ceiling fan.
Oh, I'm like, okay, we've got activity. All right.
I was like, because I seen that looking at you one day.
Oh, yeah.
There was like some major energy going on above your shoulder.
Yeah. I get that sometimes, but I also get it because of the camera. I think the camera refocuses and stuff like that, and it makes it look like it's like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But hi, Jesse. Thank you. We're excited to do it. So if you're ready, we're just going to get started, sis.
I'm ready.
Let me turn that off before we get started, because I'm going to keep on getting these. Even though I muted my phone, I still get them. Isn't that terrible? Okay. All right. So guys, this is Carla. Carla is my sister, my actual blood sister, full blood sister.
Yep.
And soul sister too. I just had to throw that in there. She is like the other half of Amethyst Ascension. When we started this was both of ours. Carla wants to do more. As a matter of fact, what got us started on this is she made a video, about a week ago, sis?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, on Facebook. And I told her, okay, I'm really proud of you. Let's get this going. If you're ready to do it, let's do it. So, you know, I think you're over being afraid of being on camera and stuff, and you're just going to go for it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, about what you're feeling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Hi, Aurora. Or Dawn, I should say. Hi, Stephen. So the first question is, so why Amethyst Ascension?
Well, when we were first talking about it, it was a collaboration about what we wanted to put out there. And exactly what it says, to spread good health, love, abundance, and as we talked about before, to foster ascension. Yes.
Yeah.
It's
So
exactly what the world, most of the world is trying to do right now. Seems that way.
Right. Right.
And it starts with an A. Had to put
Exactly. That was my business mind. I'm like, okay, you know, it's an A because a lot of times listings and stuff like that for businesses, if we were listed on some kind of directory, they're going to see the A's first. So, you know, I'm thinking of marketing, but I also love amethyst. And amethyst is a stone that I want to read to you guys what the meaning in this little book that I have, what amethyst means. Oh my gosh, and there's Sully,
Oh.
of course. So it says for amethyst, amethyst is associated with increased nobility, spiritual awareness, meditation, balance, psychic abilities, inner peace, healing, and positive transformation. This stone brings an understanding of death and rebirth and relieves stress. Amethyst is a teacher of all things spiritual, mystic, and psychic. This stone is very healing of body, mind, and soul. Doesn't get much better than that, does it?
I'll agree.
And my God, look at how beautiful it is.
It is very beautiful. You know, that's Mom's birthstone too.
Yeah, February, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's Jim's too, because he's a February.
Very pretty.
Yeah. And it was also said that amethyst came about because, or the color, I should say, but the legend is that you can't, if you are wearing amethyst, that you can't get drunk or you can't become inebriated. Hi, Mom.
Oh.
Mom's in here.
Well, I can't wait to get back to the bar then, because
you're gonna wear your amethyst, are you? Yeah. Okay, you're gonna have to test that theory out for me because I don't drink. So
I will. Maybe I'll take the video in and we'll test that theory live sometime.
there you go. Exactly. Oh shoot. Let me see if I missed anybody. Okay, cool. So
Hi,
yeah. Hi, Mom. So number 2, how long have you been on YouTube, Carla?
what, a week?
I mean, in general, you know, like watching videos and
A long time. Probably the last 2-3 years, I really got into doing research with YouTube, which is nice, you know. But
I mean, same for me, kind of, except for I started this channel. It was Rachele's Originals back in the day, like in 2013. I had created a video that was like a slideshow of some of my creations. And then I never went back or anything like that for several years. And then so actually what started Amethyst Ascension before it became, you know, before I took the channel and turned it into Amethyst Ascension was I got a box, a subscription box.
that's
And
right.
yeah, and so they said if you do a video unboxing, we'll send you your next month's free, right? I was like, well, how in the hell am I supposed to do a video, and where do I put it? Where do I post it? You know, where do I send it to? So I think it was Bailey that said on YouTube or something like that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's right. I've got a YouTube channel. You know, so I put it on there and bam, the rest was history. I was kind of like hooked for a little bit on the subscription boxes. And that's how tarot came about for me. Remember? The party night. Yeah. So anyways. So what is the direction for this channel that you want now that you're going to be putting out some content as well? What can people expect from you?
I've been giving it some thought, and over the last couple of years, I didn't put in as much as the research as you have, as far as like guiding people to use tools for divination or like the tarot and all that. So I don't know, maybe I can share a little bit of knowledge that I have, but most of it's going to be I think like maybe theological things that have to do with spirituality, maybe share in thoughts and get insight, because for me it is the collective. It's what everybody thinks. I get so much from that.
Yeah. And also putting out what you believe, right? I mean,
Oh, most definitely. Yeah.
your spiritual
Yeah.
path.
Yeah. But I my talks with you they help me tremendously. So, I'm hoping that you keep doing what you're doing.
You know I am. I'm already hooked. Hook, line, and sinker, okay?
Okay, good.
Yeah,
And
I'm
then
already addicted.
I'll put in some stuff in there, here and there type stuff,
Oh, you're funny.
There are some things that I do want to share about palmistry. Just because the things that I have studied, there's more just my take on it type thing,
Yeah,
and see if
perfect.
other people are in agreement.
And the direction for me that I see is just continuing. I will just say this though. There's a few people that are in here right now that knows how my mind really works when it comes to certain things as far as conspiracy theories and stuff like that, okay? I have made light about it on the channel because if you just go out and you just start talking about certain kind of things, people are just going to be like, I'm switching off because that chick is friggin' crazy. She's out of here, okay? So I didn't want to just start off going, full-fledged into stuff like that. But you are going to start seeing, and you're already starting to see little hints of what I truly believe about things. And yes, the ascension, but even the ascension part, we have not really touched on a lot of the bigger stuff that you and I have talked about, that Lady Knight, well, Maria and we have talked about, and a few other people. But I am going to start putting that stuff out there now. I think we have to. I think, like you were saying, as a collective, because you know what? I don't trust the news. I don't trust any of that stuff. I think the best source for any of that is us talking to each other personally and spreading it around. I think that's the only thing that you can truly, for me, that I can believe, because I've built up like relationships from watching these other channels and watching these people and seeing who they are. And then when they're telling me something like that, I am more apt to believe it than something that I see on the news,
Yep.
which is 98% negative.
I
So,
agree. I agree.
So, yeah. How would you label your spiritual path then?
I have always called myself Gnostic Christian because I do believe in God and the whole concept of Christ. I believe he is an ascended master. But I say Gnostic because there are certain things that even before I picked up the Bible and read through it, that were just always in here. A lot of it came from listening to what Mom believed when we were little. She said,
and the stories.
Yeah, I think God is an alien. And I'm like, oh man. And then pretty sure, well, I'm just going to put it out there. I was abducted when I was 10. So, yep. God and alien, something does go together there. So, and Gnostic being in a state of receiving knowledge. I do a lot of meditating when I can. And I'm always receiving. If I'm not looking for it, it's just something that hits me. And then I do have to go research and be like, why did this feeling hit me? So yeah, and my path is spiritual in that manner. I believe in prayer and meditation to receive knowledge from the universe.
Yeah.
I believe in letting my hair grow long so that I feel what's around me.
Yes, I hear you. For me, my spiritual path, I'm a Christian, but like I've said before, I'm not a Christian because of everything that I've read in the Bible. I'm a Christian because of Christ's teachings, which are simple. Love God with your whole heart and whole soul. And I don't believe in the God of the Bible. Okay. I don't believe in this jealous God that has human emotions and all that. I believe, for me, that more like in the law of one, which is everything is God. You're God. I'm God. Everybody is God. All plant life, everything is all divine, all part of that whole. But we are sparks of, it's not so easy to describe, but I feel like we're all sparks of that. And when we come into a manifestation, we're only like a pale comparison of what our true spiritual our true spirit is, which I always call my higher self. So
yes. Yeah, mom said that. I agree with that. I love the way that you speak, because you get right to it and you say what you mean. Sometimes it's hard for me to do that. And that's part of the reason too, when you said afraid of the camera, it's not so much afraid of the camera as much as I have to get over that little hump, like I did when I was a musician and being on stage. There were times when there was dead air. I'm on the mic and I'm like, what do I say? I always have these certain go-to phrases, and you do that on camera right now,
And it's funny that you say that I say it so well, because I'm thinking that I'm always fumbling my words. I'm forgetting stuff all the time. I'll sit there and go, when I'm editing my videos and stuff, I'm like cutting that out, where I'm like, it's like major brain fart, okay?
It's very good from here, Sid.
Oh, well, I do believe in Jesus, Mom. I definitely believe in Jesus. Jesus is probably the one thing that I do believe in more out of the Bible than anything. I see a lot of manipulation in the Bible. I see a lot of ways of controlling people in the Bible. And then when you learn the history, not just what the Bible says, but the actual history of things.
Yes, we should have a video on that sometime, because I can pull up some research on that.
Yeah. I mean, just like, for instance, Jim did this once, because Jim was raised Catholic, right? And I didn't know anything about Catholicism. And he was, I think it was another friend that was talking about Lent, or was getting ready to do Lent. And I was like, I don't understand that. So he researched it, and that actually came about like around in the 13th century, when they were going through a famine. So the Pope at the time made a decree that we needed to do this in order to, be closer to God or whatever. But that was never before that. And the Bible was written, what, 1,000 years before that? It's because it was what they felt was needed at the time in order to control the masses. Once you find out the actual truth behind some of the stories and how they used it, and how they said that Mary Magdalene was a prostitute. No, she wasn't. No. I mean, that was just another way to keep women in their place, right? No. Anywho.
This is Hans. He was bugging me. He needed some attention.
He's so beautiful.
He's my shadow.
Baby. Yeah.
Yep. The Bible was written by people.
Did we lose you? Oh, there we go. Exactly. So, anyways, the spirituality, I do consider myself a witch as well, but that's because I look at witch in a different way, not the way that has been depicted, that witches are Satan worshipers, or which some can be. Okay, some can be, but I think a witch can technically be any religion, including a Christian. And, you know, if you even look at like Catholicism, they have many rituals. They have the lighting of the candles and they do ceremonies and they have certain robes for stuff. Come on, you know. So I consider myself a witch because I try to work with, like when I pray, I try to efficiently pray. So adding things on top of it in order to try to not force my will, but work with the elements and work with the earth or the universe the way that I see that the universe really is, which is like a mass consciousness. Use that in order to try to lovingly get things the way that I want them in my life, because I believe that my thoughts manifest reality. So that's why I would consider myself a witch.
And I think that, Rachele, ever since you decided to accept that label, or, you know, say that you are a witch, personally, I've seen you bloom like a flower, a rose, and not to be, you know, flippant when I say that. I
Yeah.
think that you have grown so much by accepting that path, because you are very powerful. And you know, spiritually or whatever, you have so much good energy inside of you, and now you found a way to channel that and help other people. So to me, that's perfect for you. That is
I think
perfect.
we're all extremely powerful. It's a matter of recognizing that and then using it.
Yes, and you have. You don't. I don't think you have any doubt about it.
I have no doubt.
That's the
Yeah.
way. That's how I see you, anyway.
But I mean, you know, when I say witchcraft, because I still consider myself a new witch because of practicing at least parts of it, you know, like the candle magic and stuff like that, and crystal gritting. I did work with crystals long before I did crystal gritting, because I would work with those magical properties and or healing properties in the jewelry. So, and chakras, learning about the chakras and the energy in us and all that, and learned about the law of attraction, what, 15, 20 years ago. So I guess it's all in how you look at it. I think it's an evolution.
Mm.
But,
The I forget that tarot lady's name.
yeah, Cindy.
Cindy. What she wrote is perfect. It's like a wheel, and we're all traveling to get to the center, no matter what. And what you said about the law of one. See, I kind of believe that too, because we're all a collective, and there is truth in every single one of us. And you put that together, boom, there it is.
That's a song.
Whoop, there it is. That's it.
Yeah, that's Cindy. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Julianne. I'm so excited about getting. Julianne made the Vedic astrology study deck. I've got her book now. I got that, but I'm still waiting on the cards because of what's going on. You know, they closed down for a little bit. I think they open up again tomorrow, so they'll start shipping. So I'm so excited because I want to learn Vedic astrology. Yeah. And Western astrology. I want to learn them both. You know me, I don't just do one thing at a time.
I know.
For me. Hi, Amber. All right. So, do you use divination? If so, what types do you use?
No specific tool. I have definitely messed with tarot. I get excited about it. But I don't have a lot of experience with it. It works for me. You know, I can usually give a pretty good reading. I don't know. Most of my channeling the universe is meditation, being outside, touching the ground, or a tree. Yeah. I'm a tree hugger.
A tree hugger. Yes. I know. I'm like, I need a good tree to hug. Isn't that funny? Yeah. I think it was Summer that had shown some pictures on Facebook, and it was like pictures of actual trees, but they were like all in like designs where you could see like the green man face in the
Oh,
trees.
yeah.
And they were in certain shapes where they looked like bodies, and some were hugging or kissing. I mean, it was just like, oh my gosh, how can you not look at that and see that they're alive?
Yeah, I know, you're
You know?
right. And it's sad to see them die.
Yeah, yeah. Would you look for signs in the clouds?
Do I look for signs in the cloud?
Yeah.
All the time.
Okay, that's another form of divination.
Okay.
Pendulum. I remember going to baby showers, trying to see what the sex of the baby's going to be, boy or girl. That's a divination, right? Um, there was another. Oh, your dreams, dream divination. Do you ever look at things like this is? I feel like this is going to come
Mm.
to fruition. We know Mom has that ability.
I definitely do think about my dreams. Especially because the one that I keep hearing the words that this lady said to me
Okay.
in the dream, you have to
Mm.
live before you die instead of die before you live. And I think what she means is what we're going through right now. I mean, there's definitely two sides to it. So I don't want to get into it right now, but that those words in that dream really, I know it was said to me for a reason.
Which is another reason why you feel the urge now to start doing videos, right? And getting
Oh
your
yeah.
thoughts out there.
Share.
Yeah.
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 Hmm.
For me, divination, mainly it's tarot or oracle. Yes, dreams always. I mean, you guys seen, and I don't remember which one it was, and I'm still looking for it. I actually talked in one of my lives about being invaded by a Chinese army and vaccinations, needles, all that.
That was a
There's several people.
prophetic dream. That
Yes.
was.
That was like 4 or 5 months ago that I had that dream that I talked on my channel about. And then bam, what are we hit with?
Hmm.
So, but I've always had dreams like that. Yeah. I'm definitely not getting no damn vaccination, just saying. But that's
Yep.
just me. I'm not telling anybody else what to do. I'm just not, no way. So, yeah, dream divination, um, pendulum, not so much. I mean, it's mainly just the tarot, but and even with the tarot, I don't look at it so much as like divination, more like kind of a therapy, honestly, just like working through things because I look at it like it's just psychology because I'm not really trying to read fortunes or anything like that.
Right. In that aspect, I guess I use astrology
Yeah,
because
astrology too.
I
Yeah,
do ask people their birth dates all
yeah.
the time, especially if I meet somebody that's interesting. What's your birth sign? When were you born? Oh, okay. you know.
That tells me a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you kind of get an idea of what kind of things to expect in the future, kind of from that person. I
Mhm.
mean, personality wise, and it usually pans out. It's
Yeah.
weird.
There is something else, an ability that you have. We might as well talk about that here in the divination one. And that is something that you told me about that you can smell on people.
Oh yeah, but ooh yeah.
It's not a divination that you want, but it's a divination that you have. Oh, has that ever been tested out, I should say? Do you know for certain that that's what it is?
No, I can't really say that I do. I just know what the smell is, and then I have to say, um, it's kind of like there's a part of me that doesn't want to deal with that. So I haven't really
You
had
shut it
that.
off a little bit?
Huh?
You think you shut it off a little bit or try to shut it off?
Oh yeah.
And that's
Mhm.
death, guys. She's she's told me in the past that she can smell when death is near somebody.
or
Who
just
wants
being
that?
really sick. You can, you know, I mean,
Right.
I know when I smell it. And there's been
You know what?
people that I've worked with, and there's been a couple people that have actually passed. But whether I smelt that when they were in the vicinity, you know what I mean? I don't know if it was just because I believe that you're given messages through symbolism, whether either it's, you know, the 444, the 333.
Mhm.
So, or like the ringing that I get in my ear, somebody's trying to tell me something. I believe in all that. And so when I see certain things like that, then I try to pay attention. And that smell happened a lot while working in a factory. And I've had people that I've known in the past that have passed, not necessarily at the time that I smelled that, but not long after.
You know, they do say, I just seriously read this like a couple of days ago, that something, an article about your dog may, or your animals may actually know whether or not you have COVID, because they can actually smell sickness in people around them. I believe that.
I
It
believe
makes
that too.
sense. Yeah.
Yep.
So, do you have a website?
I have a channel and we're on it.
Yeah, we do have a website too, sis.
Yeah.
I'll put it up here. Oh my gosh, I just snorted.
It's on
I hate it when I
Facebook.
do that. Yeah, there we go, guys. You get the ringing in the ears. So does Maria, Lady Night. She gets the ringing in the ears really bad, really, really bad. I get the ringing in the ears, but it's not a constant for me. But I have gone through phases where I am constantly vibrating. I
I've been
feel my
doing that.
body vibrating. I mean, like, not when I'm around crystals, although I can pick up a crystal and yeah, feel it. But I mean, just my body in general vibrating. So what are your tarot birth cards?
Oh, you know what? You told me that. And
We're the same. Because we're both life path 8, which is funny. We're both life path 8. We both have the strength card and the star card are our birth cards. Now, if you're going through thought, that would be justice, I think, and not strength, because they're turned around. I think it's justice. Yeah. And yes, we're both life path 8, and we're both. What was it? INFJs, personality types.
yeah, like Mother Teresa.
Oh, was Mother Teresa? I
Mm-hmm.
forget. Yeah. So what is your sun sign?
Libra.
And just because we're here, do you know what your rising and your moon sign is?
Yes, Libra with my rising in Virgo and my moon in Taurus. And you?
Okay. I am a Capricorn sun, rising Cancer, and a Virgo moon. So, and this whole time period has had a lot of my chart going crazy because of the Capricorn, all that stuff. One of the guys that I watched, he's Indian, I believe, and he does like astrology, and he was talking, oh, it was Lady Night that told me about it. She says, I think Capricorn's got to be careful, that this is like a bad time. Capricorns are going to be, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I really needed to hear this, right? Being a Capricorn. But he did say it was more Capricorn moons, and although Capricorn in general, but more the moons. I was like, phew. Let me catch up here.
I know, that's what I've been doing. Reading.
Well, they use dogs for epilepsy to help people, letting them know in advance. Yeah. The ringing in your ears keeps you up at night, Amber? Hi, Vicky. Lily pad is Vicky. Thankfully, it doesn't prevent me from sleeping. Oh, okay. Do you guys also do like dream journals and stuff like that? This is my dream journal. I've talked about showing it on here. I beaded this. It's kind of off center, but it won't be once it actually fills up and the spine fills up. I'm just, during this period, some people have been like dreaming like crazy. I haven't.
I
I've
haven't
like hardly been remembering my dreams.
I've had a few.
I've had a few, but I'm not like remembering them, which that's not usual for me. I mean, I'm usually a very avid dreamer, and I'll remember like 3 dreams in a night because I'm getting up 3 times to go to the bathroom, you
Right.
know, so I'll remember because I'm dreaming all the time. But what's that? You too favor a lot. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. But no dreams lately. That's beautiful. Oh, thank you. All right. So the next question is, let me find it. Do you have a current favorite tarot card?
Yeah, it's between, I can't really pick one favorite, but the High Priestess, when she's brought up, I think it relates to myself a lot. Always going after searching for knowledge, because knowledge is power.
Yes,
If you don't know something and someone else does, they hold the power.
Yeah.
And then the other one is the Magician, just because, you know, if it's a mystery, I want to find out what it's about, you know, pretty much short and sweet. Those two.
And it's hard for me to choose also, but definitely the Priestess is my girl, you know, because yeah, I mean, you and I are the same personality type when it comes to wanting to figure out like secrets or hidden knowledge. You know, I mean, we just want all the damn knowledge, right? We want to know the truth in things. We're truth seekers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely her, but I'm all about the Fool because I don't think we actually learn anything until we experience, you know, but that doesn't mean that we personally have to experience. We can also experience through our loved ones. We can experience through stories and learn that way and grow from other people as well and other people's perspectives if you're opened up to it, you know. So I believe that experience, and I'm all about the Fool, taking the Fool's journey. And I think that the tarot, the major arcana, we go through every one of those stages, and the Fool is the one that takes you through all those stages. So I'm the Fool and the High Priestess. Those are my 2. So do you know what your significator card in the tarot is?
No, I do not.
Okay. With you being a Libra,
you
could either be
you told me this before. Justice,
the Queen of Swords, which is air. You could be, yes, Justice, which is very Libra. Or you could be the Queen of Cups because of your INFJ personality type is the Queen of Cups. But ultimately, and this is what I always say, it's because there's different systems to determine it. I think at different stages in our life, we are different significator cards. Whatever you're going through at that moment, whatever resonates with you, that's what your significator card is.
Oh.
I think it can change. I think they try to put a system to it, but I think it really does change. And I should be, because of Capricorn, like a Queen of Pentacles. But because of being an INFJ, a Queen of Cups. So who knows? I think it's an interesting, I like figuring it out, but I think it changes. What about you guys? Let's see. I remember bits and pieces unless I wake up in one, or it has emotion attached to it. Yes, I agree, Vicky. I have had like maybe 2 dreams a year that I remember. I need to relearn Reiki. Back when I did it, I could dream more. Right. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Maybe now I want to learn Reiki. You know, the funny thing about Reiki is for me, and I told you this, remember, sis?
You took
I
a
was
course.
doing like a meditation. Yeah, before I took the course, I took the course because of the meditation that I was doing. Because you guys know I've got this thing on my nose, right? And before that, I didn't know what it was. And so I've got this face mask that is light therapy. So you can use like red, blue, and they're all 4 different things. So I would do that for a little while because if it was cancer, I did not want to get any kind of treatments. I wanted to try and treat it myself first. And that could have been the case. I mean, because I also used frankincense and myrrh on it, which also there's like research that shows that those 2 topical things on it for like 90 days, if there was anything, killed, cancer. So, but while I was doing this meditation, while I had this light mask on doing light therapy on my face, all of a sudden I started feeling energy in my hands. Remember me telling you? And I could just
Oh yeah, and you're like tossing it back.
bouncing it around. Yeah, in my hands. And I was like, what the heck is this? So then and I knew about Reiki before that. I didn't know how it was. So when I was looking at other courses, because I had taken a tarot course on Udemy, well, there was a Reiki course, a master Reiki course on Udemy. And it was wonderful. And that's what she does. I mean, that's how she shows you, you like rub your hands together first as you start feeling the energy. Although at this time, the energy was already in my hands. Something in the meditation, I don't know. Maybe I was so relaxed. I was like in between. Because when I meditate, I almost like fall asleep. Never fails. But yeah, so that's what started me on that whole thing with Reiki. And now I use it on everything. I can envision like these things that I'm making, which I just did a video on it, about all of the elements that I'm going to be putting up on my north, south, east, west wall in my magic room or my witchy room, and turn it into like my magical universe. But just like Reiki, the power symbol, I use like energy, I can see it, and I put it into the symbol, and then I run that symbol right up and down the body or in the area where there's things. But I do that with other things. I'll do it with my crystals, with different symbols, everything. It like takes over once you learn it. It's awesome. Seriously. Wow. I've heard of the research on frankincense and myrrh. Yeah. And I did. And I did for like 90 days. And the only thing about it is it does break down the skin. It can be hard on the skin, but that's why it kills it. And it can stop it from mastitizing or whatever, according to the studies that I read. And when I went to the dermatologist, she thought it was cancer because it looked like it. But when she tested it, did a biopsy, it was not cancer. So I don't know if I cured it myself. I'll never know. Or whether or not I never had it and it was just something that was created, who knows? But at this point, I don't care. I'm not looking back. It's not cancer. I'm good, So, yeah. I would ask, do you have a current favorite tarot deck? But you've only got one tarot deck, and it's your favorite, right?
It's my favorite.
It's because I bought it for you, right?
It is most definitely because you bought it for me.
Yeah. She's also got, this was my first deck. Oops. And when I bought it for her too. I had to. So my favorite deck is the Light Seers. I love that deck. I can't help it.
And why?
Why? Well, for one, she's a light worker. It is beyond gorgeous. I've done lots of videos on this deck. These are just, I mean, she's got
I remember you
geometry.
Yeah.
The colors are fantastic. The way she looks at things, like their chakra points,
Is
the
that the
color
one
stories.
that Sully got a hold of one of them?
Yes, the judgment or the justice card. I finally got another one. She did
Like,
replace it.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was like devastated. I was literally downstairs like bawling, and Jim's like, "Are you kidding me?" I'm like, "You just don't understand." It was terrible. It was not one of my finer moments, let's put it that way. But he's lucky I love that face so much, okay? I'm just saying. But yeah, I mean, I got this for like, I think $70 shipped when it first came out, because this is the reason why I cherish this one so much, is also because it's an independent created deck. This is not a mass produced version, so there's no more any of these unless you buy them from somebody else, and they're worth a lot more now than what they were. But it's not because of the money. I would never sell it because I just love it so much.
I'm
Yeah.
a unicorn.
You're what?
A unicorn. I have just one deck. Oh, that's about to change.
Yeah, that's funny.
Uh,
A unicorn. So, what decks are you currently working with? I work with a whole bunch. I'm not even gonna go there. You guys see them all the time in my videos. And Carla is working with one deck right now. Hey, that's okay. It's all good.
I look at the pictures. They're very pretty.
Yes. Are you a collector of tarot decks? Yes, I would say I am a collector of tarot decks.
You definitely are. How many do
And
you
if
have
so,
now?
Yeah, that was the next question. How many decks do you currently own? Well, I just did this. Where is my phone? I just did this app that they were talking about. I believe Simon from the Hermit's Cave had talked about this app. If you are somebody that collects like tarot books or tarot decks or whatever, you can use this app. It's called Libib, Libib. And so I was able to actually scan all of my decks that have barcodes, which was the majority of them, unless it was like an indie created deck. So I have 26 Oracle decks and 35 tarot decks, and they're all in a database. And you can't see it. Yeah, no, you can't see it. Never mind. It's too bright. But you can click on that, and then it'll have an individual.
Mom had to go.
Need to go out. Nice meeting you all. See you, Mom. Love you. Yes, and it's free. It's just Libib. And you can scan it, and it scans like really, really fast. And then it pulls up the picture and information and everything. It's really cool.
Oh, wow.
What's the name? F in the description, please. Libib. There you go. So, do you currently have a favorite book or artist, Carla?
Besides the Bible and anything, with scripture, ancient, that I can get my hands on, I'd like The Stand. Stephen King's The Stand. That's one that I even had to reread, and it's a good book, good long book. But you know what? Honestly, I read a lot of paranormal romance crap. I have to tell you, I do.
Yeah. Uh-oh, you froze up.
Shame, but I like that stuff.
Who was the lady that you're talking about that you read a lot?
Melissa De La Cruz.
No, there's another one. Sherilyn Fenton or something like
Kenyon? That. Sherilyn Kenyon? Sure, I think it's
yeah,
Kenyon.
maybe. Isn't there like a series with like gods and
yeah.
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 That's cool.
Yeah.
Romance crap. LOL.
You know, if I can find
Yeah.
that crap on TV, I'll probably watch it.
Yes. Yeah. Me too. You gotta love it. I
Uh-huh.
do. What about any artists? Do you have any artists that you love?
Musical artist, and unfortunately he passed. Chris Cornell was one of my favorites.
Mm.
Um, and then there's this band called Highly Suspect. And if you get a chance, listen to the song Human. Wow. Very good. Very good.
Awesome.
I like that style. That
Maria asks, like Hallmark movies?
no.
You want the down and dirty stuff, don't you?
You know, I like paranormal romance. I
Yeah.
don't know why. Except for it.
It's exciting.
It is. Yeah, it is. It's
I
exciting.
do love Hallmark too, I must say. I do.
I do have the Hallmark channel, but I don't watch it. I used to read Hallmark when I was younger, and Mom would be like, "Put that away. What are you doing? What are you reading?"
Oh,
Like,
that's because it was like trashy romance novels.
yeah, and then I upgraded to the paranormal stuff, and then hey, it's got vampires and werewolves and stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not real. I mean, could be now. You never know. But then I was like, this is real. I'm reading it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I loved, and I know some people are gonna go, ooh, but I loved the Twilight series. I read all of them. I loved Vampire Diaries. I loved this Southern Witch series, which was based on, or well, I should say True Blood was based on them by Charlene Harris. Those were all really, really good.
Oh, Charlene here. Yeah.
Yeah. But for me, probably my favorite books were um, A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. That was like a game changer for me. But also because Karen and I, you remember Karen, my
Yeah.
friend?
Mm-hmm.
We actually did the webinar with Eckhart Tolle and Oprah Winfrey when he first came on Oprah. So we were doing that every week with him as we were reading the chapters. Because when I first started reading it, I was like, oh my gosh, this stuff is so dense. It's like over my head. I don't get it. But then after I started reading deeper, I was like, oh my gosh, this is wild. So I love that one. The Secret, I think I read the book, but I watched the video and I pretty much forced all my family to watch the video because I thought it was so profound, when that came out. And I loved Sylvia Brown books. And I know a lot of people, might think that, she wasn't real. She was fake. I don't think any psychic is 100% ever.
In my experience, they're not.
Yeah. And you don't know sometimes how somebody gets messages from the other side and whether or not that source is reliable. You know what I'm saying? You just don't know. But I think that she also did a lot of good, and a lot of the things that from what I read, really resonated with me. I must have read maybe 15 of her books. So, yes, Charlene Harris is great. Have you read Scott Peck books? Vicky, what are some of the names, honey? Oops, totally forgot about vampires and werewolves. Duh. Twilight was one of my favorites. I loved all the books. I loved the movies, but the books were way, way better. Way better. And the Harry Potter books.
Oh, yeah.
All fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, I started off reading for the kids, right? They were not having it. They would all go off and do their things. And at that point, I was like so already into it. I was like, all right, get the hell out of here. And I just kept on reading them. And when they would come in every time, I just couldn't wait. I mean, I was like, I think the last book, which was like 7, 8, or 9, I don't remember how thick it was. I read that like in 48 hours because I was like glued to it. I mean, I couldn't help it. I was like, no, as I'm reading it. It was terrible. But yeah, so I loved those books. Did I give you those books?
No.
Who did I give those books to? I was so devastated that I gave most of my books away or sold my books.
I did the
I was
same.
going to a Kindle and then I don't like Kindle. Yeah, just bad mistake. Did you read Midnight Sun, Rachele? Well, at least the part that was released. Midnight Sun. What one is that, honey? Is that also Charlene Harris? I think I did not read the very last book in the Southern Vampire series. The last one I remember.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was Edward's perspective because I remember I read a little bit of it, especially the part where he's actually getting a whiff of her. It describes that. I remember reading that. I don't think I read all of it, just a little.
Twilight from. Oh no, I haven't read that. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to check that out. Yeah. So artist. I mean, gosh, if we're talking musical artists, oh, Bob Seger, definitely. I mean, grew up on him, right? But I like vibrational music, like healing. I like listening to that. I like listening to Hosier. I love Hosier. I mean, there's just too many. There's too many.
You ever notice Led Zeppelin's? Some of their stuff is like fantastical. Like fairy tale stuff in there. Some even, I think, Ramblin' Man one of them was written about Lord of the Rings.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. I've been noticing that, like, when I hear Led Zeppelin on the radio, some of their lyrics are like, whoa. I'm wondering. I'm gonna have to see who actually wrote some of the stuff if it wasn't Robert Plant. I don't know.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
So, do you have a current TV series that you're enjoying right now?
Some of my favorite stuff is on the CW, and it's all the paranormal. It's so interesting, and other than that, if none of that stuff is on, you find me on YouTube, and because I'm reading all about aliens or watching stuff about aliens or fourth and fifth dimensional beings, all that. I'm for it.
I think we need to do a live maybe once a week or something, if I could get you to do that with me, sis, where we're talking about different things that we're hearing about, like conspiracies and stuff like that. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that are just like, no, I'm not into that. But seriously, trust me, I want to figure out things, right? I like knowing hidden mysteries. I've always been like that. But here's the thing. I'm not just this gullible person that every single conspiracy theory that I hear, I believe. No.
Right.
I research after I hear this conspiracy theory. And then I look at different articles and I look at documents and I watch other videos and maybe if there's books to read on it. And then I decide whether or not it's something that I believe is even possible or plausible. I'm not just like
abducted when I was 10 and something happened when I was 40. That's why I believe in aliens. I seen a little gray man. He was in our house.
Yeah. Wow. Now, I don't recall if I ever was. I don't recall any of that. They did some major mind stuff on me. So
those attacks, and I'm pretty sure you had them too. The sleep paralysis.
Yes.
From earliest memory, of being a baby, an infant on the floor, not even a year old, till I was a teenager. I had those.
I had those. I had those quite a bit, actually. But after I read in one of Sylvia Browne's books about that actually being you catching yourself coming back in from astral traveling,
She was
no,
wrong. She was
I
wrong as
think it
far
can
as
be both.
maybe.
See, how do you know that you're not having an experience with something on a different, higher dimension that is an alien
It could be, but
through your
anytime
astral
that
travel
happened,
or remote viewing or something like that?
anytime that happened, I knew somebody was watching me and I was awake. But I got very lethargic and then I had a hard time fighting the sleep. So I never woke up to it. It always happened before I went to bed. And there was somebody watching, and then I would have where I wasn't quite asleep, and then I'd go to sleep because I couldn't fight it.
What about you guys? Have you guys ever had Dawn says she's seen gray aliens too. That a while back. 2 chairs on mine. Yeah. Cindy, at first she did, but wanted to continue later, and then came this fan fiction of 50 Shades around. Oh, yeah. I like the movies, 50 Shades, but the books, I couldn't get past the first book because she did so many of the same things, kept on writing the same kind of stuff. It was hard for me to get past it. I just didn't think that was great writing. But the movies were good. I liked the whole idea behind it, the concept, but just, yeah. Well, thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Julianne. You guys have a good one, honey. Honeys. TV series for me. We just finished watching Ozark on Netflix.
Yeah, is it good?
It is so good. Oh
Really?
my gosh. I think this was the 3rd season. Yeah. It's really good.
I'll start because I've been wanting it. I've been kind of like tossing it back and forth.
And I just started watching one called The Protector on Netflix.
Yeah, is that good?
I'm only in like 3 episodes in. It was pretty good. And I just finished watching Glitch, which is where they come back from the dead.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. That just ended after 3 seasons. I thought it was pretty good.
I watched The Messiah.
Oh, I started watching that.
It's pretty thought-provoking.
I didn't finish watching it. What was that on?
That was on Netflix.
That's on Netflix. Did I finish watching? I don't know. That was kind of weird how he was in different places, unless they're just trying to show like different time periods. It was just weird.
I don't know, but I mean, it made me question, like I question everything.
Yeah.
So it was a good thought-provoking type series. It was good.
Do you have a favorite witch movie or series? Yes.
I did like Witches of East End. That was pretty good. That was definitely
Who was I
pretty
just talking with? I was just talking with somebody about that. About
probably
that.
it was probably me because I was telling you I read the books that Melissa De La Cruz, who that series is based on, her books. She wrote a series of books that I read called Bloodlines, which was like vampires and it had werewolves and stuff in it. But that introduced some of the witches from Witches of East End. Freya, anyway, she was like a bartender in those books, and then she's a bartender in that series. So,
wow, yeah, I love that series. I didn't know about that series for like I think it was already in the second season when you and Michaela told me about it. So I went
Mhm.
back and binged the first season and binged what I could of the second season, and then the
Mhm.
damn or there was no third season. I was like,
No,
oh, you're killing me.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Jesse, my birthday is June 9th. I'm a Gemini. Wonderful. So, do you feel do you have a certain season of the year that you love most?
Fall.
Me too. Fall.
Spring is second because, rebirth of everything, but I love fall.
Yeah.
Just all the vibrant colors are just,
And
you know,
Michigan is beautiful in the fall.
yes, it is.
Beautiful. All the colors. Oh my gosh, all the trees. Yeah.
You're the same. You like fall?
Yeah, it's my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, what about, do you feel a stronger connection to any of the elements, fire, earth, air, water?
Probably earth. Just because, like I said, when I meditate, I love to be able to like take my shoes off, put my hands on the ground, or again, hug a tree. It's like
Yeah.
I feel the earth's vibration, and that's the most intense.
Yeah. I would probably say for me, it's the earth also, just because of the crystals, probably.
Yeah.
And fire, because I do, I've heard other witches say, I just like to burn stuff. So I love to burn stuff. Yeah. And do candle magic and like inscribing it. And then, I love all that. But
I like looking at a
oh,
good campfire.
yeah. Yeah. We had a fire going yesterday. Jim put a fire on. So we both went down and I was able to prop my feet up and we watched a movie.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Wow.
So, do you work with crystals? If so, what is your favorite or what are your favorites?
I don't, for a while, I was, pretty darn excited about all the gifts I was getting. Um, but over the years, my favorite has always been Tiger Eye. And I don't know if you remember this, but you remember making those soulless sandals
Barefoot sandals.
or
Yeah.
barefoot sandals. That's what it was. There, soulless. um, and then you got the tiger eye in them. So tiger
Mhm.
eye, I've always been drawn to the beauty of it. It's just so pretty.
Gosh, I haven't seen a pair of those barefoot sandals in ages.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sold all those. Yeah, those were really popular.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love Tiger's Eye. It's really beautiful. And I was just reading, which I thought was appropriate for Tiger's Eye. And why, with you being a Libra, that seemed really right to me.
Mm-hmm.
A brown chalcedony with golden highlights enhances protection, clear thinking, personal empowerment, integrity, willpower, practicality, grounding, and integration of spirit with worldly energy. Also associated with the correct use of power, courage, grace, and the ability to see clearly and without illusions. Yeah, also integrates male and female energy within us. So, like non duality, which I think is really, really freaking cool. That's powerful.
I've always believed that my spirit is neither male or female,
Yeah,
which
we
is
talked about this before.
mm-hmm,
Yeah, that we're like both.
mm-hmm,
Yeah, definitely. I'm not a girly girl. Okay, I'm definitely not a girly girl.
same.
But yeah, I mean, I was a tomboy for goodness sakes. I broke my arm falling out of a tree when I was what, 3? It's terrible. So my favorites
What he used,
are you what?
I was gonna tell everybody what you used to do when you was a kid.
What? Are you throwing me under the bus, sis? Are you
I
being
had
a
to
bus
stop
driver?
myself. I had to stop myself.
What about
I
the
know
humming?
some stuff, but you know some stuff too, so I'm gonna stop myself right there.
Yeah. So I have no idea what she's referring to, guys. Seriously, I don't. So I love selenite. Absolutely. I love that it clears the energies. Well, it transforms, from negative to positive. Labradorite, because I'm all about also unlocking, psychic. It said held up to the third eye, it unlocks visions and prophecies and stuff like that. Of course, I love amethyst, right? Who doesn't? Yeah. So those are my crystals that I love. I love them all, don't get me wrong, but yeah. So do you have any daily rituals that you do?
Well, before the quarantine, I did everything the same every day. So now if I do not get up and get in the shower, I will be in my pajamas till noon. So, yeah, I have to get up and get dressed or something, start my dishes that I didn't do from the night before.
Yeah. It's
It's
hard when you don't have
every day,
anything to
but
do. Yeah.
huh?
I said it's hard when you really don't have anything to do when you're used to having this like strict routine, you
Uh-huh.
know?
Uh-huh. There's
So, yeah.
nothing like as far as the spiritual part, because that's another thing. While I was driving to work, it was always, dark. So, and unless Taylor, my youngest, I had to take her to her dad's in the morning. Usually it's just me, and that's my meditation. Not really meditation, but it's my where I've
Yeah.
got my one-on-one type thing going on in my head.
I mean, really, if it is like a routine, how many times, and I know that you guys that are in this chat are going to be able to relate. How many times have you traveled the same route so many times that you actually forget the journey? How many times have you forgot because you're just like in your head thinking, I mean, instinctively you still know everything that you have to do on the road, but you forget the journey because you're so tranced on what you're doing. And I remember specifically that was one of the things that stood out to me when I read about the new earth and him talking about like being in the now, because I can't tell you how many times I did that routine, just traveling that road and not actually seeing things like with fresh eyes every time, like people walking by, or a dog or kids playing out in the yard, or what the sky looked like, or how green the trees were this day, or whatever. So I'm sure many of you guys can relate to that. Exactly. Yes. But that's kind of meditative too, because, you know, yeah, I see meditation in so many different forms. It doesn't have to be a guided meditation,
Right.
you know. So I can be shuffling my cards and meditating. When I would do my jewelry and bead and be beading for hours, even though I'm still concentrating on what I'm doing, I'm like in a different mind frame, That was like meditation for me, like therapy.
I
Definitely.
will say even a shower, sometimes the shower, because especially since I don't get that drive in the morning,
Yeah.
the shower is I see Johnny writes songs and plays guitar too and sings.
Yeah. Go
Nice.
check out her channel, sis.
I
Definitely.
will. I will most
Rainbow
definitely.
fluorite. I feel that too. I got a lot of masculine energy and I don't feel drawn to goddess decks. Oh, well, normally I don't feel drawn. Well, normally I do feel drawn to goddess stuff, but I equally feel just as much towards like gods. And see, here's the thing for me with goddess energy. I feel like I need to connect more with goddess energy now because I feel like the goddess energy is reemerging because we have been so stuck in patriarchy rather than matriarchy that now we need to even it out a little bit.
So
So,
was Sophia a feminine energy or feminine entity? Because she was
yes,
like a mother.
the
And
mother
Gaia
of,
is
of
mother
gods.
is, and Gaia is an earth goddess, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I was just wondering because of being so drawn to that deck yesterday, or not yesterday,
the
when
other
we
day.
did that, because I'm never felt drawn to a tarot deck, period. And then I was drawn to that one. You know, the artwork was fantastic. But
Yeah.
I'm thinking that
Messages are
we're
really
going
good.
into the spiritual is more of a feminine type energy. I mean, I
Feminine
think
energy is very receptive.
you
Yes.
got to be equally balanced. I think for
But we've been out of balance. That's the problem. We're
right.
starting to come back into balance.
Yeah.
How do you get back into balance, excuse me, when everything has been so masculine, so, you know, a very matriarchy environment? And I know there's some people that say that that's not true, but trust me, it is true. Okay. It has been very much a man-based world for a long time.
And for proper discernment, you've got to be able to, I would imagine, weigh both of those.
I mean, look at Christianity. How many people believe in Christianity? And that's a male god, right? And females are lesser. They're not supposed to be. I mean, when we were growing up, you weren't supposed to be a preacher. Women couldn't be preachers. And, you know, I mean, it's hard to believe 100 years ago that a woman could not even have well, depending on where you lived, okay, could not have own property. She had to hope that she had a male child that she could pass the will on from her husband, or she lost the property. I mean, it's ridiculous. She didn't have the right to vote or whatever. I mean, we still have problems in certain countries, right?
And how is it they can tell a man that he needs to wear his hair short, get himself cleaned up to look like a man, but, you know, biblical times, hair was their strength. Yeah. Isn't that interesting? I was talking to Bob about that the other morning because, you know, he's like, gosh, my hair's getting too long. I'm like, yeah, but, you know, because he's a Christian, you know, and he believes probably, I don't want to say he believes more strongly in it than what I do. He believes more what the Bible teaches than, you know, and he did not read that from beginning to end. It's just from sitting in a church and believing everything he was told. Whereas, you know, like you and myself, we picked it up and read it from beginning to end more than once.
Oh, I did not read the whole Bible from beginning to end. I studied it, but I did not read it from beginning to end. I didn't, honestly. And I know that you like it like that. Okay. So I'm not trying to, however you like it is your personal thing.
It took me 20 some years to read it from beginning to end. So that tells you anything.
I just thought honestly that it was a very contradictory book, you know, and it was just hard for me to, I studied it.
I did too. That's what took so long to read.
The witnesses, that's all it is studying.
Yes.
But, you know, seriously. So Maria said, I grew up in matriarchy. The women in my family wore or wear the pants. So got some catching up to do on masculinity. We can relate, honey, because my mom definitely wears the pants and always has.
Yeah.
And although she was married several times, she was always the you know, the ruler of us. And she did teach us, don't ever let a man tell you what to do. Didn't she? Yeah. And you know, you can tell that that's how we are. I thank my mom for that, because she gave me my voice. You know, I'm sure she regretted it at times, like I do with my own daughter. But at the same time, and I've said this before on my channel, even though there's times where I'm like, you go, girl, you tell him like it is, use that voice, but not against me, you know. So, but I'm definitely not going to, I'm not going to complain. Anytime that a woman finds her voice, or anybody for that matter finds their voice, I'm happy with that. But anywho, do you prefer coffee or tea, sis?
Coffee flavored beer. I prefer coffee.
Yeah. I'm more of a tea person, although I like coffee a lot too, but it's all the caffeine. I can't deal with all the caffeine.
Well, if
So,
it's flavored beer, it doesn't have the caffeine in it.
well, I can't do the beer either. I can't drink because of pills that I'm on, medication that I take. So I'm not supposed to be drinking. But it's not a sacrifice for me because I'm not much of a drinker. If I was a drinker, it was definitely not beer. It was always like liquor. Okay. That was my problem. If I'm going to drink, I'm going to go for the Jägermeister. I'm going to go for, um, you know, rum and Coke or Long Island iced tea. Those things that you drink a few and you're like, oh, these are so good. And then an hour later, you're like, blah, 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 you know. So,
I
yeah.
drink about 2 cups of coffee in the morning, then it's water throughout the day, and then I'll usually have a beer or some type of a cocktail with my dinner, and it's usually just 1, maybe 2, and that's it.
Yeah.
This
I
is
love
actually,
wine.
Bob got me, it's Guinness Stout, and it
And
is
does it really taste like it? Like coffee?
it's like coffee, got hints of coffee and chocolate.
Mm.
Oh, extra stout is the best. It is like drinking like coffee. Oh, it's so good. So
Wow.
good.
I do like wine, but
I do too.
wine doesn't like me. I always swell up in my ankles after I drink wine. It never
Yeah.
fails because of the salt content or whatever. So I don't bother. So, do you have a special skill or hobby that you would like to tell us about, Carla?
Um, yeah, well, since I was about 14, that was being on stage, playing music, writing music. But I'm not a guitar player. I took some lessons um when I was younger. And it just never, these short little fingers or whatever, they don't I gave up on it. Anyway,
Well, you can't do this stuff, Carla?
mm,
Yeah.
I played trumpet when I was in high school.
You're a
So
singer.
yes,
Yeah.
I'm a singer.
Yeah.
I haven't done very much of that. Every now and again, it's just music in general. I have to listen to it. I love to listen to it.
We both have this special skill that we do, which is called, according to our kids, singing Tourette's, right?
Yeah.
So a word will be said in a conversation, especially if we're in that frame of mind, and all of a sudden out pops a song. We burst into song, right?
Mhm.
We would get together with family, we'd start singing songs, and yeah, just very musically inclined. I just read an article today in the Witch's Almanac about music and the elements and all that, and magic with music. How it
There's
all is
ones
like
that I
another.
heard can or frequencies that can heal cancer.
hmm Well, what the article that I read was talking about the different, how you got FACE and EGBDF, which is your scales.
Amber's
Well,
noticing. Bye, Amber.
see you, sweetie. Thank you for coming, honey.
Mm.
Yeah, and she said that Maria said she's also the ruler of her household. And Dawn said, my mom told me, don't let anyone tell you you can't do something because you are a girl. Exactly right.
Yeah.
And Amber says, oh, same. I feel bad for my husband sometimes. Yeah, because she rules the roost, so to speak. Love me some Guinness.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff.
They do that in musicals as well and seem totally normal there.
Yeah, I was thinking that when we were talking about it. Like some days it's like being in a musical.
Yes. Just break out in song and dance, right? Although sometimes when I'm alone, I'll just start singing, and especially if I'm like doing the dishes or something to get it to go by, because I hate cleaning. Seriously, I hate it. It's like
I do.
torture.
Mhm.
And especially dishes, because that's one of the things that we had to always do from the time we were really little. Those were like our chores, right? That and
Yep.
laundry. Those are the two things that are, oh, it's like
Yep.
torture for me to do it. I mean, I'll do it, but it's like torture. But so I'll be bopping around the house and singing some sort of song, and Sully's trying to jump up on me while I'm trying to do some cleaning, get it done, make it go by faster. Yeah, you gotta love it. But music is healing,
Mm-hmm.
definitely. What is your favorite holiday or Sabbath?
Halloween, just because it's mysterious, it's fun to dress up, you know.
Yeah.
And Valentine's Day. Just because I am in love with who I'm with. Honestly, because if I wasn't, then it probably wouldn't be my favorite holiday, you know, or one of my.
Right.
So yeah.
I hear that. I love Halloween because we had such wonderful memories growing up.
Oh yeah.
Being from a big family, all the cousins and stuff,
Oh
and
yeah.
we would all, get dressed up at the same time and all go out together in big groups. It was
Yep.
so much fun. And Mom used to take us also Christmas caroling. Remember when we were kids, we'd go Christmas caroling to different houses with all the cousins? Because my mom is one of 7 from her mom and dad, and then she's got more from her dad, from a next marriage. Well, a couple other marriages, more. So I think there's a total of 11 or 12 of them all together. And then you figure all of the cousins. So we had a lot of cousins, and we always did everything together. It was wonderful.
Yep.
So yeah. Has your reading style changed over time for tarot? For me, a little bit. I mean, in the beginning, it was more really about learning the meanings. And everything that I do is still based on the meanings, unless there's something that really, really pulls me away from that. But I was just watching a video earlier, and I commented on Saturnarium's channel. And she was talking about things that you don't want to do when you're reading. And she was talking about like throwing down clarifiers, or like for beginners, like doing spreads and stuff like that. And what I told her, for me, is like if I just lay out a story, my problem is I see too many options in those cards of what it could be. Like the 7 of Cups, which has like 7 different cups full of different things. That's like my head. I've got so many things going on at the same time. It's hard for me to narrow it down to what I'm supposed to be seeing. So if I stick with, and that's probably also because I'm new, but it's also because of how my brain works. So if I have something that is an actual spread that I know what this card is supposed to signify or what it's supposed to represent, then it's easier for me to corral it all into something cohesive, if that makes sense to you. So for that reason, instead of doing the 3-card spread, I like bigger spreads now because it helps me corral it a little bit. Corral this craziness that's going on up here. So, and your reading style, it's probably pretty much the same, isn't it? Since when you started?
The few times that I have actually done readings, it's like going through it, because with me being even more so of a beginner still at this time because of not doing it very much, I still have to look up the meaning as I go. So and then it's like after all the cards are laid out, then it's like it all forms into a explanation.
Right on.
Like, so it's not I'm also getting, like, the universe is telling me something too at the same time, not just the cards. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
And because I am new.
Do you find it's easier for you to look at the pictures or look at the actual meanings? What do you feel more comfortable with?
The meanings.
Me too.
The meanings, because the pictures.
But you're a knowledge person. You're a knowledge seeker and a truth seeker. So
Yeah.
me too. That's got to be my base. Not everybody works that way, but that's got to be my base.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's just like, in my opinion, trying to learn like a new math solution or a math problem, but you don't know how they arrive at the solution. You're just
Right.
supposed to just be out, especially if it's like algebra. Forget it. If I don't know the formula.
Exactly. Yep. It doesn't make sense. So you know how it happened.
Yeah. Now I go beyond that and give myself the freedom of going beyond that now by looking at the pictures too. And if they veer me off in any direction, and that can be different per deck. But ultimately, I like to start with the meanings that I put for those, not necessarily always the meaning that comes from the deck itself.
Your 78 days of tarot, I believe, that's when I noticed like you became like, to me, a master by then, because to me it did, just because you I think you memorized them by doing that.
The major arcana, yes. And that's all. I haven't even finished the 78 days of tarot. I only had barely gotten 3 cards into, which, I mean, I should, but I don't know. I don't even know if that's what anybody wants me to do, because there's so many other channels that do that kind of stuff out there. You know what I mean? And for me, the majority of it was for just learning for myself. That's why I put it on tape. And if I wanted to, I could go back and look at it. But I had already done the course. I had already read several books. They just weren't sticking for me. The thing that helped me to remember, not the major arcana, because yes, the 78 days of tarot did help me remember the major arcana. But they're called cheat sheets. Yes, that's what helped me remember all of the minor arcana.
Whenever I was learning a song or anything, especially, a cover, I had to write down the lyrics. I couldn't just have them printed out. I had to write them down. If I wrote them down, I remembered it.
There's something to be said about that.
Yeah, if I just referenced it, or had a cheat sheet, then, obviously repetition helps, but for me, it was writing it down. It helped me to remember.
Yeah. I think there is something to be said about that. It's another portion of your brain. Writing is a different portion of your brain than even reading or speaking it. For me, when I read, I'll use the excuse that I'm going in to read for Sully, and Sully does love it. Don't get me wrong, he loves it. He'll just lay there next to mommy and go to sleep while I'm reading, right? But I'll read out loud to myself so that I can retain what I'm reading better, because I'm speaking it and I'm hearing it and I'm reading it at the same time.
Yep.
So, so do you remember your dreams, sis? For the most part, do you remember your dreams?
Not in general. It's only the ones that it's like when I know I'm dreaming, or if I wake up right after. So, and it's like an important message, and I'll keep replaying it in my head all day because I'm trying to figure out what the universe was trying to tell me at the time. So, yeah, I probably have a lot of dreams that I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm sure we all do. Do you have like any themes? Like themes?
Yeah, like I believe I'm a starseed, so I have dreams of either watching someone else's life that I've never met, because I usually don't dream about myself. And if I am dreaming about myself, then there's a meaning for myself. Obviously, it's like, that dream I was telling you about, the one that I just had, I was watching someone else's life, but somebody in their life came to me and told me that in 2 different scenarios, the same, live before you die. Don't die before you live. So it's like, even though I was dreaming about someone else, the lady from that dream came to me and said, listen, it's like she knew I was observing and said, make sure you do this. So that I woke up and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have those
What
kind
do
of
you think
dreams
that,
maybe 5 times a year.
okay, so what do you think the bigger picture of that is? Meaning that you have got to start like practicing the things that you are wanting in your life?
Nope.
Start doing the things that you want in your life rather than just letting it pass you by?
That's a part of it, but the main thing is, I have been worried about the whole, should we go back to work or all that, the whole quarantine crap. And, today my unemployment came through. Okay.
Fine.
Now this is crazy. I told you I rely on symbolism. My net is $777. Okay. But
Damn.
I know that I should not be okay with that. Why? Okay. This is just me saying this, my opinion. I should not be okay with that because I actually make less than that working. But I have been battling. I know I have to go back to work. So it's like, and here, it's like, and then that dream, even though on the outside, it's 777. Oh, hello, that's a good number. And
It just, I mean, I honestly see that, Carla, as don't worry about it. You are on the right path. Yes, 7 is a very spiritual number, like spiritual transformation kind of number. Just go with the
I
flow. Don't
cannot
fight
sit
it.
at home and let life pass me by because I just don't think that that's what we should be doing. I think that we should be living life.
I
So
think you guys are going to be going back to work soon. I do.
I hope, even though I'll make less than if I just stay at home.
Yeah, I hear what you're
At
saying.
home, I'd be making more. Ain't that sad?
I hear what you, we're not, but I mean, I hear you. I know a lot of people that would be making more. Yeah. So, do I remember my dreams? Yes. During this period, not so much. But a lot of my dreams are journeys. Like I'm like on a path and I'm trying to find my way home, and then something happens and I get steered off of my path, and then I get back onto my path. And but years ago I used to dream a lot about alligators. You remember me telling you about this?
Oh
And
yeah,
snakes, a lot of
yeah,
snakes.
I did too, but I don't anymore.
I don't either. I don't anymore. But I always had those dreams that I had to protect my family from the reptiles.
Mm-hmm.
And remember what I told you? I would be like in a jungle scene. I would be walking down this path. There would be gators coming at. I would tell my family, stay behind me. And I guess I just thought I was some kind of he-woman or watched, how they wrangled alligators or whatever. Who knows? It's a dream. Keep in mind, it's a dream. But I would be actually grabbing hold of their snouts, flipping them over on their backs, and gutting them from the belly because their hides are really, really hard. And once they open up, their snap or their is really powerful, but they're really weak as to if you keep their snout closed. They can't easily open up once you've closed it. So, and I think I knew that from like watching uh Crocodile Hunter. Steve
Oh
Irwin.
yeah.
We loved him. So, but
Mm-hmm.
now in retrospect, what do I think those dreams were about? Protecting my family from reptilians.
Mm-hmm. Yep, mine were snakes.
Oh, I
Yeah.
had a lot of snakes, but snakes were always all around me. I'd be walking through almost like a mind of snakes, but they never touched me. Other than I had a spiritual dream once with a snake on the side of a road or on the side of a river on a dock. It was like a big river boat that was getting ready to go off. And I was talking with this snake. It was literally talking to me. It had legs. and it was having a spiritual conversation with me, and then it bit my toe, and then I woke up.
Wow.
Interesting, huh?
Yeah, very.
Yeah. But I don't dream about snakes or anything like that anymore. But I do think that they were warnings.
Yeah.
But also I have read that snake dreams also has something to do with awakening and
Oh.
spiritual, like Kundalini, you know.
I had a dream about an alien that had like tentacles off of its face, but it wasn't real. I don't know if it was an alien or just a fifth dimensional being, but it was up to no good, and I had to fight it off. That was just recently. Remember that dream? And I actually, you know, used my power of belief to make it go away.
Right on. So is there a time period that you feel drawn to? Other than this one?
Other than the what?
Other than this one time
Oh,
period.
yeah, it would have to be, what do they call that? Mesopotamia type era,
Ancient
before I
Persia.
could have said it was like Egyptian or medieval or anything, ancient. But then I'm really drawn to the time period in the Bible
Yeah.
where,
Oh.
the Sumerians were on the earth, or they're probably still here, but they the very beginning of written history, like
So like
that.
before Genesis?
Probably, yeah. Yeah, because
So like
that's
what
dated,
Noah descended from and stuff?
right. Like the beginning, yeah. Like the very
Okay.
beginning. And when I say that, I looked it up before. It's when the first writings came about. And I believe that is the Sumerian time frame.
That is the oldest known language and civilization that we have right now, or known writing system that we have, is the ancient Sumerians.
Yeah. So whatever was going on then, I find myself searching for that. The Anunnaki, I find that very interesting. I'm pretty convinced there's a hollow earth.
Yeah.
Look at how deep the ocean is.
I suggest watching the video that I did on the Fae.
Oh, I did. I watched that. Yeah.
Oh, and that brought about some of that stuff. And the Inner Earth Society and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
What
would
about
say
you?
I am very drawn to Egyptian. I've always been drawn to Egyptian time. I've had several dreams, Egyptian themed dreams, like previous lives. Yeah, so definitely that. Were you raised in the path that you're in currently, or did you veer off from your family, would you say?
I would say that I veered off and came back. Because I found myself messing with things on the darker side of magic when I was younger. And had too much scary success with it.
Did you also read, I can't remember, did I give you the book, The Secret Magic of the Abramelin?
Yes, you did. And I believe that that is correct. My soul or my spirit says that's correct. So that is why I believe in, spreading light and love and that form of divination, and the reason I'm into palmistry is because I believe that itself was given to you, at birth or even before birth, you're forming those lines. So I believe that those are maps, and just the fact of, one is your potential and one is where you are today is something that was, meant for you to know.
Like they say that one hand is receptive and the other one is your dominant, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one is based on like past life and one is based on your current life, right?
Yeah. Yes, you're born with what your potential could be what you could do with it. And then, yeah, usually your dominant hand is what you've manifested, what's come true, what has come to light to this day.
Oops, oops. Okay, so when you put your hands together like this, do all of your lines match up? Mine do. But I know that there's people that when they do this, that they don't match up.
For the most part, but I did read about that too. Yeah, see, my potential is different. Not extremely different, but it's different.
And also, this is something that we had found. The X's. Do you have a lot of X's in your poems? I have a crap load in both of my palms. It's not so easy to see right now, but I mean, I got X's under this one, this one, this one, this one, several. I have X's in the center. I've got them all over the place on both of my hands. I got them like in the crooks, and that's supposed to be like, what is it like? Was it ancient healer or was it
too? Bye. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you, Jesse. Only one line matches up. Really? There's a meaning for that. I don't remember what it is. I would check that out though, honey.
I will, definitely.
But yeah, I mean, it's hard to see. I don't think you can see all of the X's, but they're like, let's see.
Yeah, I actually took some paint, like some thinner paint, and then took a white piece of paper after I, and made a handprint. And you can usually see very well if you do that, your lines and stuff a lot easier. So I actually have that. I was going to start doing that. And they say that if you're a palm reader to, get a print of the patron or whatever, whoever you're trying to read, and this way they can take it home with them. You can write on it.
Yeah. Hi, Leanne. The other lines have a few millimeter difference. Yeah. I mean, just pretty much how they match up though. I mean, I'm not saying that the lines on this hand are the same as this, just like where they meet here. There's something significant about where they meet. But mine, what is this line? I think it's your lifeline. Oh, it's your heart line. My heart line.
I don't know if you can see this, but can you see in the middle of my hand right there? This is my potential. Okay. Oh. I don't necessarily have the lines that meet. But look at this one, okay? I bet you can see like a triangle there in the very middle of my hand on this one. See it?
I can see it on the other one too.
Yeah, but this one is extremely pronounced. Right in the middle where this one's all broken.
Yeah, I see it really pronounced on both of them, sis. The heart line matches for me, and I can find one X. Oh, I mean, I'm not even kidding you. Maybe between both hands, maybe 20 X's all over my hands. I mean, everywhere. They're under each of my mounds. They're running through all my lines.
Yeah, I do too. I got a bunch of lines and X's, but
craziness.
I was just trying to show you that because of the difference between my hands. It's crazy. My potential is different than what I have actually manifested in my lifetime. So to this point.
Oh, yeah.
And it's crazy because a lot of people
look a whole lot different.
Yeah.
My hands don't look a whole lot different, but I do find that interesting. That is something else that I would like to delve into.
Yeah, I will. I think I'll do like maybe 30 minutes here and there on as I go. Kind of like that's what I was thinking, kind of like what you did with your days of tarot, and it'll help me learn, it'll help everybody else learn, and I think it's very interesting because it's I think we need to know it. It was given to us. It's right there. Why wouldn't,
Yeah.
you know?
I say definitely go for it, sis. Create videos and I will put them on the channel. This is one of the reasons, guys, that we were also having her on here, is because she is going to start doing videos, and we're going to start releasing her videos on the channel also, which I am so happy, because even though we are so much alike, we also shine in different areas, you know, where the other one doesn't. And I don't mean it like that. You know what I mean? Where we have our interests veer off from what the other one does. So
That,
we both have
that
valuable
since I'm not, I don't know it all. I figure we could learn together.
Yeah. Oh, I clearly don't know. Not even close. Here. So I'm gonna move on with it a little bit. A couple more questions. If you could have a deep conversation with any one person during any time in history, who would it be and why?
Not to be corny.
Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, most definitely. Is that same for you?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Could you, yeah. I'd die after that. You already know, because then I'd know everything.
Yeah. Well, see, here's the thing for me. I remember reading in one of Sylvia Browne books when she talked about what it was like, life on the other side. And she talked about like the Hall of Records and like going through orientation once you pass from this life, and you end up in orientation after you go through that tunnel or whatever, you know, and you meet all of the people that were waiting for you, and all old animals and stuff. But she said, in the parks, imagine people can be in more than one place. Their essence can be in more than one place at any given time. And one of those masters was Jesus Christ. He was really good at being in several different places. So you could literally go into the park and say, I want to have a conversation with Jesus Christ, and sit down, and at the same time have a lion be sitting there while you're petting the lion, and knowing what the lion is saying and thinking also, you know, and going into the Hall of Records, where you can see which is the hall that holds all the Akashic records, so that you can review your life, not like judgment, but you can go in and review your life and see, well, I could have made a better choice here. I didn't make the choice that I wanted to here. How far did I go off of what I had planned for my life? And I'm sorry, but that all just resonated with me. It sounds right to me.
And think about this. The tree of life, or knowledge of good and evil, or whatever you want to call it. The tree of life, I believe that certain people, if they're at the end of their cycle, when they die, they eat of that. So to me, that means we're all connected, so that once everyone has ascended, everybody's collective knowledge all becomes each other's. So the fact that there's a little bit of truth in every single one of us, once we have all reached that level, or even if we tap into it during meditation, that is the truth. That is the collective. That is knowing everything.
That's why everyone's experience can be different and it still be truth. Right?
Yes.
Maria said, I just saw that the region between my thumb and the middle of my hand is way wrinkly on the left side and kind of smooth on the right. I have like major, those are lines. If you're talking about like the lines, see, you can't see it with this light. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. All the lines, those mean something. If that's what you're talking about, it looks like wrinkles, but they're actually, each line is supposed to represent something. Also, like lines over here are supposed to represent like marriage or something like that, isn't it, sis?
Yeah, yeah, I believe those are, Yeah, I do believe those are relationships.
I don't know. I got a lot on both mine. I got lines all over the place. So yeah, for me, it would be Jesus Christ also, just to know, because I think that he was definitely a hybrid human, but either that or he was definitely very evolved, like you said, a master, ascended master, who essentially is awake on a higher vibration than us. So, if you could go to any event in history, what would it be and why?
I didn't really think about that one. Personally, it would have to be something that wasn't well documented, that people are speculating about. I would want to go to something like that, say like the Battle of Los Angeles or something like that, just so that I could see it for myself and then come back and say, okay, this is what really happened.
I say we get a damn time machine and we go visit a whole bunch of things. Like, I don't know, Atlantis and Pompeii and the Egyptian pyramids and ancient Sumeria and, oh yeah, the whole kit and caboodle. But I wouldn't want to live there. I would want my anonymity. I would just want to be able to observe.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah. You're coming too, honey.
Heck
it's going to be a big time machine, okay? Yeah. All right. Well, this has been fun, but it's been 2 hours, Sissy.
Yeah, it's time to go. Time to make dinner.
Yeah. Time to do the dishes. No, time to make the donuts.
Yeah.
Right? Donuts.
Yep. BLTs tonight.
For those of you. Oh, that sounds yummy.
Oh, yeah.
Are you using turkey bacon or real bacon?
Real bacon. Real bacon.
Yeah.
I'm bad.
Bad to the bone. Nah. You know my theory on that. I've told you this before.
Yep. Bless it and pray on it before I put it in my body.
Well, I see that there's a lot of people that are about higher vibrational food, and I agree. Eat higher vibrational food, but once you bring a moral thing into it, that's where I have an issue. I think everyone should follow what they believe is right for them. And to say that it's more moral to eat, plants than it is an animal, when I feel like they're all living things. And I have seen videos and stuff like that on like people that have taken the sound things that you can, I'm not exactly sure what they're called, I don't know the terminology, but actually listening to the sounds from like sunflowers, what they give off, and it's like they're like singing. So why, if that is alive, and they've done studies on donuts, yes, they've done studies on plants that are subjected to different kinds of music and different kinds of talking and vibration. It shows that they are alive, just like I believe the earth is alive, a living being.
Not EVPs?
What?
Well, that sounded right.
What did you say? No, not EVPs. Okay. No, exactly. So that's just my opinion. I do believe in eating healthier if you can, but what's healthy for one person might not be healthy for the next person. I don't think there's a right or a way to look down on other people for what they choose to do. I would just say try to sing us the chant. Oh, I don't know what the chant is. Kumbaya. No, I'm just kidding. We are alive as the earth is alive. Yes. Yeah, I just really believe that. So I just believe that, don't cast your stones on people. Don't judge them. You know,
Yep.
what's healthier for me? I can't eat the beef and the pork because I get gout, you know,
Yeah.
which I also find funny that grandma was a sufferer of gout and she was a witch too.
Yeah.
What's up with that? I don't know. Maybe just a
I
coincidence. Maybe
can
it's
eat
a
cabbage.
genealogy.
I do eat cabbage, but it don't like me because I get all bloated and ooh, but I love it. I eat it a lot.
Yeah, you're funny. Cabbage, just blow that shit up, right?
Yes, exactly.
Oh my God. I knew it was going to turn to shit humor. It always does. Carla is like the queen of shit humor, you guys. You guys, there's probably going to be some stuff in her videos. She's probably not going to be able to resist it. We'll see. She loves her shit humor. Pardon me, good sir, but I
But
do
you
believe
think
I
we're
was
just-
fat in my pantaloons. All right, we're going to leave on that note.
You
You guys
started
are
it
awesome.
this time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You started it with the cabbage talk.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, because you knew where I was going with that.
Yeah. So I do have some other channel spotlights coming up here in Lady Night is doing one. Maria. I've got Cindy, that tarot lady. She's going to be coming up soon.
Oh,
And a few other people too. Quite a few. I'm like scheduled all the way through the middle of May, I think. So yeah, more fun stuff. But I think we should do a weekly conspiracy theory chat. What do you think? What do you guys think? Yeah, would you like that? Maybe pick a topic
yeah.
and discuss it, and
I
hopefully
have
we
to
don't
tell
have
you,
hours.
the WikiLeaks came out. I don't know if you've heard about that, but I actually clicked on it, and there's an actual index, and it's called a data dump, and that's David Wilcox was talking about it. I just kind of browsed through a little bit of it. Some of it's just nothing, but the Clinton emails are on there. There's all sorts of stuff on there. It's crazy. The Podesta emails, and it's public knowledge now. Not sure what's going on with that. I've just barely opened it, so and browsed over it. But the information on there is endless. So maybe you and I could chat later, and I'll show you exactly how to open it. And
Yeah, and maybe we can do the first one on that one.
yeah, scan some of the documents in there, and it's crazy. I showed Bob some of it. It is just crazy. It makes me nervous looking at it. It's just
Really? It's that
yeah.
bad?
No, I just can't believe that it is proof that everything you say and do, whether you delete it or not,
It's always
there.
out there now.
It is there.
Yeah.
It is knowledge for whomever, especially if it's the government. They can access it at any time, and they can look at it at any time. And you have computer wizards or whatever that know how to do that, that like you and I, that don't have to work for the government, that might decide to keep track of everything you're saying or doing. Yeah.
Probably. I have a lot of subscribers, No, but you never know, right?
Because there's videos, there's documents, there's emails, I found it's an application to be part of the Catholic Church. It was some type of a religious questionnaire type thing, but it's an application to be some type of a follower of this church. It's just one of the millions of things that is in this WikiLeaks document. There's pictures of, like I said,
Yeah,
lot of
we'll talk on it.
interaction stuff going on between important people too. And I'm thinking, how did they get their hands on all this stuff?
Yeah. Well, we can talk about this next time, or we can talk about, you know, some of the stuff that David Wilcock has talked about, what he thinks is going on, and, you know, the 3 days that are supposed to be coming up where we don't have any internet, no phone usage, nothing.
Check out Q.
And QAnon. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. All right. Yeah. Well, maybe, I don't know. We'll try maybe doing it public. If not, maybe we should just keep it private amongst a few of us. I don't know. I don't know if people can handle it, or, you know, or whether they're just going to think we're kooks or what, but
Yeah.
I do believe this stuff is really happening. I really, honestly, with everything in me, do believe it's happening. So, anywho, for those of you that stayed this whole time, thank you so much. And be looking out for Carla. She's going to be putting some videos. I mean, not like tons, not like I do, but here and there. So we wanted to introduce her. So
I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Love you guys so much. Thank you. Have a good one.